Okay, December. It's over, and I really want to show you how the spending went in my December budget. The small changes I did using the Every Dollar because that is a free account. It's an app on my phone. Um, and then I did some changes of how my debt payment plan is being happening, where I used to have a minimum payment of 800 and something, almost $900 in minimum payments that I cannot handle. So I ended up going into insolvency trustee office and I filed consumer proposal. So now my total debt of $7,200 is now in a legal binding contract of $6,000 with a minimum payment of $100. Then I still have to go back and do my meetings at the trustee insolvency office to see if the creditors voted on that minimum payment. They probably will because my budget is really fixed. Like they didn't even count my commission income at all. It's all based on my fixed income disability they counted for. So yeah, things happen, things change. But let's recap how I spent my money in December. I want to show you that. Any more details I'll probably talk about. But let's see what happened in December. Okay, so December, I changed my income goal for my webcam earnings. So the estimate before in the plan was $3,000 for the month. I went back and changed it to $3,650 for the month because it is a more targeted goal based on income tax brackets that I would fall into if me as a self-employed person has a profit after my income and expenses. So I did a tax planning thing to change my income target for my webcam earnings. Yeah. So then now that means now I gotta plan out tax planning a little bit better. So I changed out tax planning from $300 to $365. My tax expert advice, I changed it from $50, I think, to $100. And then giving, I changed it a little bit from 300 to 365. This is my tithe to the church. And then my regular gifts and charity budget is still $100, so that stayed the same. So it was, yeah. So, and then my savings got changed a little bit because I moved some of these categories. I had them, so like my furniture, small appliances, electronics. I had that under my everyday living category. I moved it under savings. Medical, dental, same thing. I had it under everyday living. I moved it back to a savings category. I had my condo apartment fund under my housing. I moved it to savings. I had my transportation fund under transportation. I moved it to savings. My vacation and business travel was in everyday living. I moved it to savings. My emergency fund, there's $100 in the emergency fund right now, which is great because there was never money in the emergency fund. Now there is. Possibility I could be getting still more Christmas money from my mom's. So half of that will go into the emergency fund, and then the other half will go into my Hill and Valley account, or it would top up my cell phone. Where's the cell phone? Housing. Yeah, it would just top up my cell phone and internet for the Christmas money, depending on what's coming in. I don't know what's coming in from Christmas from my mom, but when it comes in, it'll get put into the January budget probably, and then we'll see it there. So food, I changed that. This used to be, actually no, this is the same. I added my restaurants and drinks, $65, and groceries that I cook at home, $300 for the month. Even when I was in the insolvency trustee office and they were doing my budget, they allocated $300 out of my disability income for groceries. So it seemed a little high, but it works out to $80 a week of me cooking half of the week and eating at home all the time, and $65 for restaurants in case I buy a hot chocolate, a sub, or Swiss chalet. It's not like I'm doing crazy takeout food stuff. I'm home like 90% of the time. Then my transportation, My Presto card still allocated to $150. I added rideshare, car sharing and taxis in that category, but I may not spend in that category because I'm not trying to go outside. I'm not trying to go outside. Even though yeah, I'll talk about Christmas later. I probably can't talk about Christmas now. Right. And then my everyday living. I compressed this everyday living to pocket money, everything else, grooming, cosmetics, toiletries, clothing, shoes, lingerie, laundry, and laundry supplies. Makes my life easier. It's 4 things in that category. I don't need to go crazy in there. I just get it done. It's me by myself. I don't need everything else usually has every time I do date night. So every time I do date night, I put in the transactions when I spend money on date night, and the bank fee goes in there. If I don't buy a book at the bookstore, to go in there. Um, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then, of course, I also do my business accounting bookkeeping over at waveapps.com. So I'm constantly doing my numbers. I'm constantly adding in income and then my spending all the time. You guys are just seeing me do my personal budget. I also do a business budget, and I'm trying to organize at the same time my business bank accounts with my personal bank account. And then because of um, signing the consumer proposal, let me move my face over here a little bit. Because of signing the consumer proposal and what the consumer proposal means on my credit report, nobody's going to lend me money. I got to rebuild my credit if I'm going to borrow money. But if we believe in the Dave Ramsey plan, me not borrowing money and me not allowed to borrow money means that I had to find different alternatives of using a Visa debit or a MasterCard debit. And I did. I found 2 companies. I found Coho, I found Stack. I use Stack because Stack has no fees on foreign exchange, which is awesome for business. And I probably will make a video review of those 2 cards in the future. So now I'm really just spending the cash that I have, and that's it. And then I track my income for my business as being self-employed. I send it to my disability office. I file my taxes with it. I gotta make sure as my income increases that I'm investing in my long-term savings because there's no employee match retirement happening for me. If I want money in retirement, I have to put the money in the retirement. And I do possibly want to buy a house in the future, which means I have to do all of this income planning, preparation, budgeting, good money habit behavior so that I can be in position to walk into my disability office, tell them I don't need their income support anymore, and um, be self-sufficient all on my own while still managing my illness, the bipolar. Yeah, it's scary as hell. It's scary as nut. Like my family is recommending I don't do that plan. But for all the videos I've watched from Dave Ramsey where he talks to people who are getting disability, he encourages all of them to increase their income and be self-reliant on themselves and not his view of was that getting disability is another form of bondage. I didn't even think of it that way. I didn't. Yeah. So Ramsey's got me being more Ramsey on the plan than Dave Ish because he found a way to get to me and I didn't. Yeah, for being Ish, I'm probably gonna make another video about that too. Yeah. So that was December. December we spent. Let's add this up real quick. How much did I spend? Oh, there it is. $1,735 minimum to keep me to the end of the month. Because, yeah, I mean, yeah, we're spent, yeah. 1735 is what I spent. Yeah, now I gotta do it all over again for January. and it's a little scary, but it's okay. I can make it. There's a plan. We got a plan. Every dollar has a job. Um, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm now like emergency fund. It has to be an emergency. Me getting behind on the internet and the cell phone, not really an emergency. Like the internet has to get paid first, then the cell phone. And right now my cell phone bill for for January is half paid right now. So we're ahead. We're half ahead on the cell phone bill because the cell phone, we reduced it from $120 from the previous company, Version Mobile, to now Chatter Mobile. Where Chatter Mobile, I'm paying $45.20. It's ridiculously awesome how many changes I've made in my budget. Again, I probably should make a video about that too. Internet's still the same. And then me checking the hydro bill to make sure that the hydro bill is getting paid when it's supposed to be paid. And then I applied for a low income credit with the Ontario Electronic Credit Program. I don't even know. But all I know is they emailed me back that there'll be a credit on my bill for $68. So that means me paying them $86 a month, I probably will get a refund from them more often for the time I'm in the program because I'm in a low income because of they count my disability. So yeah, I made changes that I didn't think I would make because I was being stubborn, and I was being miserable in my own bondage, and now I'm releasing from it, and it feels really great. It feels really, really great. So I'm not, there's no more spending happening for December, except maybe date night. I put this in, if this December 30th date night $50 does not happen, I will move it to the emergency fund. So that will make my emergency fund $150. Yay. I'm very happy about that. So what do we got going on? I think we're done here for this section anyway.